The liver bones connected to the kidney bones.
I would pick the Wayans brothers because the Baldwins are probably all too drunk. But first, hey, we got new t-shirts.
Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
Do you want to see my ass? My ass. Do you want to see my ass? And I'm not asking you.
No, not particularly.
It's a general question. If anybody wants to see my ass,
I would say it's not like definitely not in my top 20 things I'd like to see right now.
sushijackknife@gmail.com. If you want to see my ass, I'll send you a picture of my ass.
How much would people have to, like, do we need to set up a Patreon and one of the
OnlyFans?
one
of the tiers?
Yeah, like, a $5 tier, you get an autographed Justin's ass picture.
Yeah.
An 8x10.
Digital. No, digital.
No,
we can't be shelling out for prints. That's going to negate the money we're going to make.
Okay, that we'll do it.
Thank you.
At the $10 tier,
fine.
You get print.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
An 8x10? Sure.
Yeah. Maybe a 5x7.
5x7.
Yeah, I mean,
5x7. That's enough.
Yeah.
How much ass do you need?
No, 5x7 should be plenty.
That should be enough. What were we talking about? Severed heads?
Yeah. Well, no, I was talking about Ted Williams' head.
Oh, the freezing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First off, I guess we need to start with, do you know who Ted Williams is?
I think he was a baseball person. Oh, yes. The only reason I know that is The Simpsons.
There you go.
Because they had those episodes with the severed heads.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Vaguely.
Treehouse of Horror, I think it was one of those.
That's one of, like, the 3 Simpsons episodes I think I've seen. I haven't watched The Simpsons. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's not
relevant. Yeah.
So Ted Williams, it was early 2000s, late 90s? I don't know.
It had to be 90s. Yeah.
He died.
Yeah.
And legend has it that his head was frozen.
Cut away from his body, yes.
Frozen, so that in the future, someone can do a thing with his head.
Yeah. That's the thing that's unclear.
We don't know what you do with the head.
I think now they freeze your whole body, from what I've heard about this.
Well, see, that would make more sense.
Right, because you're going to need all the other stuff.
Right. It's all connected. You know how the hand bone's connected to the wrist bone and whatnot?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's the same with all of your vital organs.
The liver bone's connected to the kidney bones. Yeah. The kidney bones are connected to the... that's where my knowledge ends.
But what I was saying, and I stand by this, because I'm not a scientist, but it only makes sense.
Right, sure.
I don't think if you freeze a dead person, it's worth anything. I think in this scenario, you'd have to be maybe on your deathbed.
Yeah, they start the process.
Right. And then they freeze you.
I think that makes sense because I don't want to get into like deep philosophy here. Mm-hmm. But so what we're saying is that at the moment of death, the body is different than it was the moment just before death.
Yeah, I mean, it's something killed you.
Right.
Whereas if you are frozen, something still killed you. It's how cold it is. But but maybe it's preserved.
Yeah, maybe there's something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Encino Man.
Right, like Encino Man.
See, I get all my science from 90s Pauly Shore movies.
Yeah, Biodome. Mm-hmm. Hey, actually, that's a weird little subgenre. Never thought about that before.
Pauly Shore science?
I like Biodome. Biodome is not a good movie.
Oh, it's a bad movie.
But I like Biodome.
Yeah. It
appeals.
Well, I rewatched it. I mean, it's been at least a couple of years. Mm-hmm. But for the first time since I was 12.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's as bad as you would expect it to be.
The thing I always remember from that movie is making a filter. Do you remember the scene I'm talking about? The Biodome's filtration system dies, and so dude is collecting cigarette butts.
I I think it's a special feat if you have a movie like that and you go, oh, Pauly Shore's not the worst actor in this movie.
Which Baldwin is that? Daniel? Steven. I think it's Steven.
It's the one that became a crazy born-again Christian, man.
Oh, is he that one?
I believe so.
Okay. There's more Baldwins than
There's 80.
care to remember.
There's 80 There are 80 Wayans brothers and 80 Baldwins.
Yes.
And
put them together.
I think one of these days there needs to be some sort of war between the two
Ooh,
of them.
a brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. A brouhaha.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'd pay to see that.
I would pick the Wayans brothers because the Baldwins are probably all too drunk.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't, since that unfortunate thing happened with Alec Baldwin, I don't know if he's got the instinct.
The
anymore.
bloodlust?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he definitely probably wouldn't want to hold a gun.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
No, of course we're not allowing guns. This is a fist fight, yes?
Well, yeah.
Sure. What's
I
fun?
mean,
What's fun about a gunfight?
Maybe
Not much.
chains.
Yeah, like hand weapons.
Like 60s biker brawl.
Okay. How deep do you want to go with this concept?
Maybe there's a butterfly knife.
All right. Okay, I like it.
But just one.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Now see that
They have to take turns with the
that makes
butterfly
it
knife.
interesting. Yeah. Let's see how many Baldwin brothers there are.
I'm guessing 6.
Sweet Jesus. Okay. The 4 Baldwin brothers.
Oh.
Alec, Daniel, Billy, and Stephen. Alec we know.
Alec is the successful one.
Daniel is the one who was in. Okay. Great. He was in a like I guess a fictional version of Grey Gardens, Mulholland Falls.
Okay.
Homicide: Life on the Street.
Oh, that classic.
Yeah. And isn't there isn't there another one? His middle name is Leroy. They're from Massapequa.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it does. Okay, then we got Billy. Mm-hmm. Oh, Billy. William, also credited as sometimes. He's in Backdraft, Flatliners, Sliver, The Squid and the Whale, he's been in some shit, some good shit. Like
He was in the
Backdraft
Squid and the Whale?
I guess so. I never saw that movie. I remember it coming out, though.
Do you think when he tries to be credited as William Baldwin, everyone just goes, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I do.
You're Billy.
And then there's Steven, and I think this is the guy he's in Biodome.
Yeah.
The Usual Suspects, Flintstones,
Oh, man.
and Viva Rock Vegas.
Yeah. Not the Flintstones movie, the Flintstones sequel.
Right. Which came out in 2000, by the way. Wow. He is the youngest. He also directed here it is, Livin' It, a Christian-themed skateboarding DVD. That's something.
How do you make a skateboard DVD Christian themed?
I don't know the answer to that.
That's like skateboarding's kind of an agnostic activity.
Sure. Yeah. And how many Wayans brothers are there? Wayans. If it's the same number,
Yeah.
if it's like 4 and 4, we've got ourselves something here.
I mean, we can weed out some of the Wayans brothers if there are more.
Yeah. All right. So there are
Obviously, we have to have Damon and Marlon.
Sean Wayans.
Okay.
But yeah. Oh, there was a show, the Wayans brothers.
Oh, yes.
Right. Okay. So that's what I'm getting confused about. Boy, this is a deeper subject than I thought. How many fucking Wayans brothers?
Let's Google that.
Good.
How many
fucking Wayans
brothers?
brothers? Okay, youngest to oldest. There's Marlon,
Okay.
49. Sean, 50. Damon, 60.
What?
Big gap. Keenan Ivory Wayans, 63.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's 4. 4 and 4.
Oh, this is perfect.
And they're like the same age, pretty much, as the Baldwin brothers. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Unfortunate, racial counterpart to this battle.
Well, I mean, you don't have to look at it that way.
You're right. I guess I don't.
You can look at it as
Take it for whatever I want.
one family that is more successful throughout the family.
The Wayans.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one family that is drunker.
I mean, arguably Alec Baldwin was more successful than all the Wayans brothers put together.
Right. But if you average it out.
Okay,
so if you average it out.
Take the mean.
Alec Baldwin, we'll say he's a 9 out of 10.
Sure.
On success.
He's a real deal movie star.
Which one was it that was in actual movies? Squid and the Whale and whatnot? He's like a...
Billy.
He's like a 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
The others are 2. Whereas the Wayans, none of them have gotten a 9.
Right.
But
Damon, the most famous, probably.
Yeah, I don't think any of them dip below at least a 4.
Right, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
So I think it averages out.
I agree. I agree.
So that's our next reality show we pitch.
Well, we've got a few rolling around. What was the one from the other week? The one with the military.
I don't remember what the name of it was.
What do we call it?
Yeah.
But something America, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
It's a great idea.
It was a fantastic idea.
Yeah, this one, that will be our second reality show once we've hit big.
I like it.
It's a celebrity family death fight.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to run out of families pretty fast.
Yeah, season 1 is them.
Yeah.
And season 2, Kardashians and someone.
Right.
I mean, there's got to be a match for the Kardashians.
Yeah,
somewhere.
we could figure that out. America's Finest. That's what
there
we're
we go.
Call
That's it.
And that was your title. Well, if I think we could air at least one of these shows because the quality of show is getting real weak.
Yes. Have you seen the new Netflix show?
Well, are we going to talk about the same thing?
I don't know.
Are we going to talk about Is It Cake?
That's what I was going to talk about.
Yes, I was going to bring it up tonight.
It is insane.
It is the most single idea for a TV show I have ever heard.
Okay, so for the people listening that haven't seen this.
Is it fucking cake?
First off, stop listening to the podcast and go watch Is It Cake?
I think there's a season.
Hosted by SNL's Mikey Day.
Who I thought had another name.
You didn't think his name was Mikey Day?
I saw him. I know his face. I thought his name was, he's like Kiernan or something. I don't know.
Kiernan? Kiernan.
There he is. I was so surprised to see that was his name.
Anyway, he hosts a show where people look at objects and guess whether they are made of cake. Right. And that's it.
Yeah, that's the entire premise. That's the whole idea.
I watched the first episode of this going, that can't really be all that this show is. That's all that the show is.
That's all that this show is. It's, if you haven't seen it, it's people who, I mean, I guess this is a profession.
Yeah, the hyper-realistic cakes.
The hyper-realistic cakes. And so they get all these very talented people that make these cakes. And then they say, okay, here's some shit, make a cake like that.
Yeah.
And then they have semi-celebrity judges.
Yeah.
The first season. Come on. And to figure out of like 5 objects, which one is cake.
Yeah.
And
they
then
have 30 seconds to look at these objects from across a room and go, that one's cake.
That purse, that one's cake. I mean, I saw a purse, a conch shell.
Oh, see, I just watched the fast food one.
Okay, like a burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, oh, no, those tacos are cake.
I saw the tacos.
Oh, those are just tacos.
Yeah. And the greatest part of the show, what's his name again? Mikey Day. Mikey Day gets out a big ass butcher knife and goes, "Is it cake?"
He's fully aware how stupid the show is.
Yeah, he is. He has to be.
No one's going to convince me that this isn't the case. I am 100% convinced. This was an idea he pitched as an SNL sketch.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like it, right?
And someone went, that's a stupid idea. No one will like it. And he went, oh, yeah?
Because I was reading about him a little bit. Like, he was a writer on SNL, and then he was a guest performer, and now he's, like, in the cast.
And he's been on forever at this point. Yeah.
He looks a little bit like Crispin Glover to me. You know the actor Crispin Glover?
I can see that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And so they did this thing where I don't remember what he was cutting into, but they made it look like a black and white horror film for a minute, and it fits so well. It was so.
It's the most absurd television show that has ever been created.
I'm so glad we were on the same page with this. So impressed with us.
But I will say that I was watching the news.
Okay.
And so I watched this Tuesday night. I was watching the news at like 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And let me tell you, the perfect thing to make you not think about Vladimir Putin murdering people is Mikey Day going, no, that's just a croissant.
That's not cake. Okay, so you haven't seen this yet, but there's one where they do a piece of raw meat in the styrofoam with the cellophane and everything. And honest to God, I couldn't tell. It's impressive. It's very impressive.
That is such a niche and unneeded talent for...
Oh, God. God. And they always get the funkiest people for these shows. Like, people with the wildest hair and outfits and shit. Like... Yeah. There's a lot of baking shows right now.
There's too many baking shows.
There's too many baking shows.
I think 25% of TV shows at this point are baking shows, and 25% are miniseries about true stories where a woman was a fraud.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of that going on.
There's a lot of that going on. Yeah, it's true. We saw this other one a while back. It was on Disney Plus. And these people were making entire scenes out of fucking cake and shit. Like fucking like ships from Star Wars and stuff. It was it actually seemed like too much to me.
The one that I don't hear enough people talk about, that I have watched all of the episodes and will continue to watch, is Nailed It.
I haven't watched Nailed It.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
So Nailed It takes terrible bakers.
Oh.
And then gives them, the stupid cakes that you see on Instagram and Facebook and all that, where someone has spent way too much time and they're like, look how pretty this cake is.
Oh, sure.
The social media, like they only exist for social media.
Right. Like taste was not a consideration.
Right.
Yeah.
They go, okay, well, you have 1 hour to make this. Go.
Oh, shit. And so these people don't know anything.
They don't know
anything. Doing. Oh, wow.
There's one episode where, like, they have to taste all the cakes, obviously. And
obviously,
they all started gagging on the cake because the guy had accidentally used salt instead of sugar.
Oh, my God.
So it had, like, a full cup and a half of salt.
Oh, my God. Wow, these are the worst people.
They're very bad.
Wow.
Very bad.
Holy shit. I like that show celebrates failure.
Oh, yeah.
That's something. We need that. We need that in our lives.
It's who fails the least in this. You all are going to fail.
Yeah.
No one's going to do well. But you did the least terribly.
Awesome. Yeah, food shows are just inherently comforting. I've been watching a lot of Hot Ones.
Oh, yeah.
And Hot Ones is great. I'm sure everyone listening has heard Hot Ones, watched Hot Ones on YouTube, but Alton Brown, his episode of Hot Ones was particularly good because he was kind of like Gordon Ramsay. Like Gordon Ramsay was losing his fucking mind. He was pouring lemon juice and lime juice on his mouth.
Oh man,
really
that's the one everyone should watch.
Yeah, he really went over the top.
Because you think Gordon Ramsay curses a lot
normally?
No. It also changed everything I thought about Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Because every time we've watched a Gordon Ramsay show, like when people start making food at the beginning of it, he tastes it and goes, why is it so spicy? And now I've seen him do that at like the third hot sauce and Hot Ones. Yeah. They're like, oh no, you're just a baby.
Yeah, you just can't handle it. Yeah. Alton Brown he didn't really crack.
No.
He was drinking half and half to help,
That's
which makes
right.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He said you either want fat or alcohol to dull the sting. Anyway, but his thing was interesting because he was there at like the beginning of Food Network.
Yeah.
And he was talking about what happened like post 9/11 food shows exploded because people were looking for something that was simple and comforting, you know. And I mean, I remember that. I watched a ton of Food Network.
Oh yeah,
particularly his Good Eats was a great show.
And I think it also helped that like Food Network was the only channel that wasn't news.
Right.
I mean, everything else was news.
Right.
24/7 for at least a week.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And so, yeah, he said he'd seen it change, and one of the questions that Sean asked him was, you know, what do you think about where food TV is now? And he's like, well, he said he thinks reality TV kind of ruined it.
Yeah,
and I would agree with that, you know.
But the exact same thing is happening with Is It Cake?
Yes,
it's the #1 thing on Netflix right now.
Oh my god!
Because, like I said, it's the opposite of Putin.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Is it fucking cake?
Yeah.
And the number of ways that he is just having to enunciate that phrase. He's playing with it. He's having a good time.
I would like to see the network pitch for that show. Like, no, people bake a cake and then they have to guess whether it's a cake.
Yeah.
And then what? Oh no, that's it.
That's the whole show. What?
Do they do it? Like, do you show them baking the cake? No, not really. A little, but not much.
It's more about...
It's mostly just the guessing if it's a cake.
Can they figure out if it's a cake? And then there's points in the show where the bakers have to figure out if something's a cake.
Yeah.
Which you think they'd be better at it. They're not better at it.
I think there should be a spinoff after a while where instead of is it cake, it's is it not cake? Where they wheel out 2 cakes, and then they cut through it and go, no, it's ground beef.
Ew! Isn't that gross? No, it's filled with maggots. Oh.
I like that idea for a show.
Is it not cake? Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Hosted by
whoever that guy
is. So I wanted to ask you, by the way. I don't want to put you on the spot here.
Well, I'm here for it.
So we got a call from my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
She has a very hyper lab puppy.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
That she, when she comes to visit us, wants to bring it with her. But she also is going to a family reunion for a few days. So can the lab come stay with you?
No. No. 100% no.
I thought you'd at least think for a second before.
No. Have you seen my dog?
Yeah. I thought you having 2 of them would be fun.
My dog is fucking crazy.
No. So tell me what level of insanity this is.
Okay.
You're going to visit a person. You're not asking if you can bring the puppy.
Right. You're assuming it's fine.
It's a large dog. It's a lab.
They tend to be. Yeah.
It's like a 1-year-old lab, so it still behaves like a puppy, but it's the size of a dog, not a puppy.
Right.
So you are planning on bringing that.
Right.
And then on the phone, you just casually mention, yeah, I'm bringing the dog. Can you ask a friend to dog sit while we're at the family reunion?
That's a lot of assumptions.
So many assumptions.
I don't want to shit on your mother-in-law. I don't want to shit on your mother-in-law.
She won't hear this. It's fine.
Okay. But that sounds like a person that lives in another fucking world.
Yeah.
Because, no, that's not acceptable to anyone. Are you serious? What the fuck?
I just can't. I can't relate to the thought that I can just bring my dog places anyway.
Yeah. Right. I would never ask this of a person.
That's the line. That was the first line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to go, hey, do you care?
Can I bring my dog?
Can I bring this dog? And then the answer is no.
Yeah. No. You know what they have? They have a place.
Yeah.
Where you in exchange for money, they will keep your dog for a while.
Oh, but they won't treat her right.
Well, I mean, they're... But they have cameras. You can check in on your...
No, not good enough.
All right. It's a simulation. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it,
No, so that was the line where I was out. And then we got to the point of, can you ask a stranger I've never met to dog sit for us for no money?
I was going to say, I would do it for money. For money, I'll do it.
There was no money on the table.
Wow.
No money was put on the table for this.
I was unaware that the universe spanned around your mother-in-law. Holy shit!
Well, welcome to my life. This is it's my Tanae wanted me to ask you.
Oh, okay.
Because she thought you would be really into the idea.
She thought I'd get a kick out of it. Huh? Yeah. No, those dogs are fucking crazy, by the way. They're great, but they're fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's she's one of those babied dogs.
Oh yeah, so
the disciplining hasn't happened.
Yeah, sure.
So it's, like she took the dog to stay with my sister-in-law.
Right.
And the dog like gnawed up their baseboards.
Oh, fuck no.
And it was one of those from what I understand, one of those where the reaction was kind of just like oh, poor girl's lonely or something, How
about fixing my wood? That's wood.
Yeah.
You can't patch that. Yeah. You got to tear it off the wall and put a new one.
Yeah.
You know what we're looking at here? Jesus.
Give the dog a hammer.
Yeah.
Get the dog to...
Get to work.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I saw a video. There's this fucked up YouTube channel. I think it's called like, what's that bird that's extinct? Dodo. It's called like Dodo or something. Where they do cute pet stories.
Okay.
I have this story about this lady that had a fucking adopted beaver. Guess what a beaver will do to your house, Nathan?
Sit very calmly and silently.
Sure. After it chews up every fucking inch of wood in your house. Yeah. And I forget what the beaver's name was, but she had built it like an outdoor area. But it needed, a larger. So this was part of fundraiser to get the beaver a bigger enclosure outside.
Right. So now she lives in the enclosure, and the beaver has the house.
Yeah, the beaver is steadily building a dam on the second floor. Leaves the bathtub on. Just
I like animals.
I like animals too. Some animals.
There's a line, pet wise, where I would consider.
Yeah, I don't even want a bunny.
I've had bunny. They're not great pets.
They make me sad.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Like if I saw like a beaver out in the wild, that needed nursed,
right?
Probably not gonna do that.
No, I mean you can't.
That seems like a nature situation.
Yeah, I forget what the origin story was with the beaver. I mean, something.
Unless that beaver saved her life, there's no.
This beaver took a bullet for me.
Yeah. Now, if that happened, then she has to give the beaver the house and all the wood.
What? I think. Can you imagine? Like my brain, if I was in this scenario that she was in, my brain would be like, "I'm just going to go buy 2x4s. Like I'm going to go to Home Depot and get all the crooked, cheap 2x4s and just." Have fun, buddy.
All the things that someone returned because it was supposed to be 8 feet and they got 7 feet 10 inches.
Exactly. It's like, I mean, but they do. They just, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. They just chew and chew and chew and chew.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's a livable thing.
No.
But then also once you've built it an enclosure,
right? Like
you're dedicated to this beaver thing at this point.
This beaver's staying in your life.
You can't just go, okay, well, the beaver goes back outside now.
Right.
Nope.
No.
That's an indoor beaver.
I wonder how smart they are. They're probably pretty smart. They construct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're engineers.
They are. Nature's...
No other animal has an engineering degree.
Wow.
Yeah.
Besides us.
Yeah, but I mean, even us, we're not
great.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it with a lot fewer tools than we have.
We have thumbs. Yeah, that rabbit hole was like an offshoot of another rabbit hole I went down with capybaras.
Oh boy!
Do you know about these things? The world's largest rodent.
Yeah. You want one of those as a pet, right?
No, but they are kind of cool.
How big are they?
They're pretty fucking big, man. They're like as big as a dog. But they're weird. They're weirder than a dog.
Yeah.
It's what guinea pigs came from. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about this.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I do like the idea of having one for a pet.
Yeah.
Only for the idea of seeing people's expressions when I take it on a walk on a leash.
Everyone's like, "What is wrong with your dog?"
It's that's one where you want to go to the outdoor patios.
Oh yeah,
where people always bring their dog.
Yes.
Oh no, it's my giant rat.
Yeah. No, is that a dog? No. This is the world's largest rodent. It farts. Check it out.
But it's very clean.
It's so clean. They take baths. They do. They take baths. There's a video on YouTube of one just sitting in a tub, and it's like all just, they're really chill. They're like super chill. I don't think they have any natural predators.
They probably would be a good pet, honestly.
Yeah, honestly. And in the bathtub with it is like 5 ducklings just swimming around. And then the thing just farts in the water and it goes, blah, 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 you know. And
what is this person's life?
I don't know. I love those videos too because they're like 15 seconds. It gets right to the point. Mm-hmm. I'm so sick of YouTube videos that take a fucking year to get to what I'm trying to find out. You know? I don't need your whole story. Yeah. I don't need to buy your merch.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's one thing that I hadn't really discovered too much until until probably the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then I was stuck at home working, so I would turn on YouTube while I was working or something.
Right.
And that's when I discovered all of the today we're going to be discussing. But first, hey, we got new t-shirts. Stop. No.
Fucking, you know what? I understand you want this to be your gig. Mm-hmm. I want this to be my gig.
You're right.
By the way,
we got new t-shirts.
Actually, I wore my Sushi Jackknife t-shirt.
Uh-huh.
I think I have the only Sushi Jackknife t-shirt in the world.
You've got the only one. It's a collector's item.
It is. Because you didn't even buy one.
No, I didn't even buy one.
Half of the show.
Yeah.
That website that we used to create those, it's gone.
Yeah.
So, Inktail, I think it was. So that's gone.
Yeah.
If you're listening to an old episode, you can't buy that t-shirt right now.
Also, how did you hear this if you're listening to that episode?
Right.
Are you listening to 2 episodes at one time?
Holy shit.
That's efficient, but it's not good for listening.
It's dedicated. I'll give it to you. So we probably need to make more t-shirts. On a different website.
Yeah.
So I can buy another one.
Inktail 2.
Mine's getting kind of worn out.
I mean, not to insult the dead, but it wasn't exactly like a super high quality shirt that Inktail was pushing
No, Inktail kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Honestly, we used it because it was cheap.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
And it was exactly what you get.
Yep. Yeah, it was a very thin shirt. I'll never let it go though, even if it gets a hole in it, I'll cut it out and I'll put Sid the Stabby Fish.
Sid the Stabby Fish.
Sid the Stabby Fish. He's our little icon, if you didn't know that. Nathan drew that, by the way.
Yeah, that's Sid the Stabby Fish.
Nathan can draw shit.
I realized today, I was thinking about this, all of a sudden I have like a weird amount of my line drawings out in the world.
You do, because of your Instagram.
So we have Sid the Stabby Fish.
Yes.
And then I drew a cat looking at a nuclear blast.
Yes.
For an album cover.
Yes.
Go listen to my album. And
also Sid and the Finches.
Yeah.
Huh. A lot of Sid.
That wasn't intentional. Didn't even think about that.
Didn't think about that. Me neither.
Well, that came from Sid Finch.
Right.
But that's a whole different thing.
Sure.
And then I didn't want to take a picture, and so I drew a stick figure for me.
You did.
For all of my artist profile stuff.
Yes, you did. Yeah, go just to pimp our shit.
Yeah.
Go check out Sid and the Finches on everything. And also on judystruckstop.bandcamp.com.
Yes. We didn't lead into that correctly.
We kind of have a label now.
We were supposed to start the podcast by teasing something important. Then, once we have them hooked,
right,
we then whore ourselves out.
See, I have a weird relationship with all of this commerce thing. Because I think you and I are on the same page. Mm-hmm. I don't mind doing ads for people. No. Like, we do that. We've done that. It's kind of fun in a weird way. That's fine. Don't mind doing that. As long as it's not something terrible. Like, we're not going to sell racist cock rings or something.
No.
Like,
no, but
cock rings?
Yeah.
Not racist
I mean, we'll do NRA ads, right?
No. No. Can't see us doing that. Cigarette ads?
You know what? If the NRA approached me to do an ad, I would do an ad. I just don't think they'd like it.
No, exactly.
I would read their script verbatim, but I'd do it in a sarcastic voice.
Right. So anyway, I have a weird relationship with us pimping our shit, but at the same time, you do want people to know what you're up to, you know?
Well, that's what I ran into with all of the music stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do anything.
You don't want to do promotion?
No.
No, I don't either.
It feels weird.
Yeah, it feels weird.
It's not even an effort thing. It's just like
it's just gross.
If you want to, if you're not doing anything, I got a thing. I mean,
it'd be cool.
You probably don't want to listen to,
but you could. I feel
it's the same reason I'm not in sales for anything.
Right? Couldn't do it.
No, if I was in sales for whatever product, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah,
I would go, hey, so I don't know if you'd be interested, but you know, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have bothered you. Never mind, goodbye.
Exactly. Yeah, it would be any job where like my paycheck depended on how much I could get people to buy. I'm fucked, completely fucked. Mm-hmm. Can't do it. It's something I believe in.
Yeah,
I can talk about,
like the NRA.
Just couldn't even do it. Couldn't even do it.
You remember, by the way, this is just a side NRA note.
Okay.
When a few years ago, it came out that like a huge chunk of NRA money came from Russia.
Yeah.
Boy, that's an interesting thing to remember now, isn't it?
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Don't you guys feel good knowing that you supported a thing where, you know, all these folks are dying?
Yeah.
I don't even want to. Everyone knows it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What are we doing? Mm-hmm. What are we talking about?
I think the craziest part of the entire thing here,
in America.
The craziest thing. Oh, I guess we should, for the listeners who haven't been paying attention, Vladimir Putin's a lunatic and an evil person and likes to murder people for fun.
Yep.
And profit.
So it seems.
For fun and profit.
Yeah, definitely the profit.
Anyway, the first like week when all the stuff was starting to go down in Ukraine.
Yes.
Listening to some of the conservative voices try to slightly downplay it.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. And also, like, when did they become pro-fucking Russia? Like, it used to be the conservative standpoint to, like, blow those people away.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
Like, I'm a lefty. I should be, well, not anymore. But, you know.
Yeah.
If anyone should be pro-Russian, it should be the lefties. But we're not, obviously.
No.
But, like...
No one should really be pro-Russia.
No, at this point.
If anyone who should be pro-Russia at this point, it's Belarus.
Belarus is
that's pretty much it.
They are pro-Russian.
Yeah.
And that guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Lukashenko.
Mm-hmm.
I only know that because I listened to a bunch of John Oliver this week.
Yeah.
He did a piece about it.
This is how crazy it is. China,
yeah,
who has supported Russia, has kind of gone,
they're backing away.
We're just going to stand over here.
Right.
That's how you know you're a lunatic.
That's how you know.
If a government that is pro-slavery is just like, I don't know, that seems like it might be crossing a line or something.
Gonna distance ourselves from that.
There's no PR that we can do to fix that if we help you, so we really like Apple making all their stuff over here. We don't want them to leave.
There you go. Yeah, man, I don't know. You struggle to think of what can you do. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, what can you do? Realistically, what can you do to stop people from dying? I don't know if I can do anything about that.
Unless you can go Rambo, I don't think there's much you can.
Right. But at the same time, you know, I mean, I guess on a serious note, our hearts go out, you know, to all the people over there.
And on another serious note, kind of just like fuck Putin.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck you, dude.
Don't poison me.
Yeah,
but
please.
Yeah.
Well, I was reminded. Speaking of John Oliver, I binged a bunch of segments, and he covered Putin a couple years ago.
Yeah,
and I forgot about how many people they've killed.
Oh yeah,
I mean, and that's just the ones we know about, you know. And of course, nothing's 100% proven. But come on,
everything's 100%.
They killed this one guy with radiation poisoning.
Yeah,
he looked like he had like the worst cancer imaginable. What a horrible way to die.
That sounds correct.
And then on the mild end, they shit on your car or radio-controlled flying dildos, as we know.
Yeah, I do like that part.
That's not so bad.
I don't know if you've heard any of this, but have you heard news people being shocked by different things? Like, I can't believe he would do that. About Putin?
No.
So I was listening to, I was watching news yesterday, and someone had interviewed one of Putin's people, and the news was acting shocked and horrified that he didn't rule out nuclear weapons in the interview. They said, would you consider that? And he didn't say no. And everyone's like, I can't believe he wouldn't say no. That's entirely on brand.
Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. Like, what
are you expecting?
I don't understand why they would be. I mean, it's unsettling to think about. Yeah. But
are we surprised?
No, we're not surprised at all.
If he could figure out a way to blow up the sun, he would do it.
He's a fucking Bond villain.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like one, for God's sake.
That is true.
You know? He does look like a Bond villain. That's what we need. We need Idris Elba to become James Bond and go kick his ass.
Yeah. I guess one of the positives for me personally is it means that we're going to go back to the villains in every movie.
Oh, being Russian?
Being Russian.
And that was a good period.
That was a good period.
Yeah.
And then there was the really awkward period where every villain was Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
You're like, that feels really racist.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Russia's a country.
Right.
Not a race.
Yeah.
You know? Different thing.
Yeah. But no, we can go back to Russia.
I like it. They're great. Because I feel like that's an accent that, while I can't do it, a lot of people can nail it. Mm-hmm. Like, it wouldn't be as hard as like a Scottish accent to do, right?
Right. And everything you say sounds menacing with that accent, which is why they're perfect villains.
Just like Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good villains too.
They are. They're our friends now.
Yeah, we have to be nice to them.
We do.
They stopped doing stuff like this a long time ago.
I mean, does anyone even think about that anymore?
I've never heard anyone mention it.
Wow. I sent this to Roy. I watched a little clip of Eric Idle from Monty Python.
Yeah.
And I don't know what show they were on being interviewed or whatever, but they were talking about being invited by a bunch of German people to come over and helped them write some jokes because he said, German people have no sense of humor.
Right.
So it was pretty great. And they went over for a tour of Germany with these folks, and they took them to one of the concentration camps, and they were asked, can we go inside? Can we see it? Can we see it?
And they said, see what? There's nothing there. And then they left.
Not quite. They said they were told, no, they can't go inside and see it. And then one of them whispered to the other one, tell them we're Jewish.
So it's such a weird part of history now that we're far enough removed from it.
The Holocaust.
Yes, the Holocaust would be the specific part of history.
Right.
I'm referring to.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah. It's for people who are German.
Right.
That weren't a part of that.
Sure.
So I had a German roommate in college. Legit
from Germany.
From Germany.
Okay. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Doesn't like to talk about how there was a Holocaust.
Oh.
At one point I was asking him, do they teach it?
How do they handle
schools?
It in history? Yeah.
Not really. They do, but it's not like...
Wow.
It's kind of so... there was a thing...
I mean, wouldn't you want
bad.
to... I mean, you have to, though.
Well, if you... So think about American history.
Yeah.
We spend a whole lot of time...
You're right.
Not talking about some of the things we did.
Right. No, you're
right. Not that they were to the same level. It wasn't as many people. It was in a short
genocide,
time span.
Genocide is genocide.
Genocide is genocide. It was more of a long-term genocide here.
You mean the Native Americans?
Yes.
Yes. And then
we
other
spent
thing.
100 years killing off people.
Right.
And Germany went 4. We're going to let's just do that. And
they concentrated.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Wow, that's a rough joke. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that joke.
You can backmask it.
I'm not going to, but I just want people to know that I'm not sure how I feel about it.
You're the one who said it.
Exactly. I say a lot of things before I think about them.
Yeah.
The other week, we were talking about have there been any new music genres since punk and hip hop? And Philly Steve, rightfully so, immediately pointed out. He's he laughed so hard because of course I forgot about electronic music completely.
I mean,
that's new.
But who?
And then there's all these other genres.
Like electronic music, though?
Yeah.
Who wants to listen to it?
Oh, Nathan. Now you're just poking.
Yeah.
You're poking. Look at him poke. Look at him poke.
Okay, so controversial music takes.
Oh, boy. I just want to be clear. This is Nathan speaking.
Yeah. Well, no.
Not this. That.
I don't like electronic music very much.
Yes.
We've discussed this.
We know this about
However.
You. Okay.
I would still rather listen to all electronic music than Elvis.
Wow. Damn. You really dislike Elvis.
Not a fan.
Okay. Listen, fair enough. It's fine. I am a fan.
No, I know you are.
Yeah. I'm not a super fan, but I like Elvis.
Yeah. You're not one of the people who worships him?
No. No, not really.
It's a weird god figure to choose.
Sure. I mean, why, though? Why is it weird? Why is it any weirder than anyone else?
I mean, choosing anybody as a god figure is weird.
Yes.
But the people who have chosen Elvis for their worship.
Yes.
If you chose Bob Dylan.
Okay.
You got decades of songwriting work.
Sure.
That you can he's won a Pulitzer Prize. There's stuff to stand on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Elvis was good at stealing.
Well, it's true that Elvis didn't write any songs.
Yeah.
He was not a songwriter.
Now, some of them, I will be fair to Elvis, he didn't steal. He paid for.
Sure. Yeah.
Some of them he stole, though.
Yeah. Well,
or someone stole them, and then he paid for them.
A lot of different scenarios. I think that's... Oh, well, the thing about Elvis...
Yeah.
He didn't live that long.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's still alive.
Right.
That's a big part of it. Mm-hmm. Also, Bob Dylan never had... I mean, Bob Dylan's great, but he never had the sex appeal that Elvis had.
That's true.
You know, Elvis had all those movies.
Right. With that said, though...
Yeah.
Which one of them do you think would be a more successful cult leader? I think Bob Dylan would be a better cult leader than Elvis.
He's more mysterious in a way.
And that's why he would be a better God figure than Elvis.
Interesting. Yeah. You never get a straight answer from Bob Dylan, do you?
No. I don't think Bob Dylan even knows what a straight answer is.
Elvis, you know, and Elvis, I don't think he saw him. I don't think he... At a certain level, I don't think he liked the level of reverence he got.
Well, he would be horrified now then.
Yeah. Well, have you seen previews for this movie coming out?
No, there's an Elvis movie coming out?
Baz Luhrmann, the guy that did Moulin Rouge and Romeo plus Juliet. Tom Hanks is playing the Colonel Tom Parker.
Okay, well, that's not bad. But I can't forgive Baz Luhrmann.
Okay.
For what he did with Gatsby.
Oh, you didn't like that?
I didn't
you
think it was
like
that
Great
good.
Gatsby? Okay.
I didn't think it was very good.
Okay. You didn't like it. You didn't like it.
And hiring Jay-Z to do the soundtrack for The Great Gatsby was a very strange...
It was different.
Strange choice that I don't support.
Sure.
As much as I like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And The Great Gatsby.
Right.
You don't have to take two things I like and just jam them together. It doesn't make sense.
So I don't have to take... Let's see. I know you like beer. Mm-hmm. And I know you like... What else do I know for sure you like? Mm-hmm. I know you like Kurt Vonnegut. Right. So, but if I jam if I filled Kurt Vonnegut up with beer,
right,
and presented him to you, you might not like that.
Well, okay. Has he been cryogenically frozen?
Sure.
Because it's probably like a frosty mug, and that's not bad. A bad setup.
What if I took little bits of Kurt Vonnegut and put it in your beer?
Do you know how much you'd sell that beer for if you somehow got bits of Vonnegut?
His corpse. Like brain matter.
Yeah.
Like little chunks of brain.
You know
yeah.
There'd be freaks wanting to buy that.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. Way to put a spin on things, Nathan.
That's marketing right there.
I know you like comedy.
Uh-huh.
And I know you like... What food do I know? I know you like barbecue.
Yeah.
So what if I... This is not a concept that's
you
working.
You gave me... You mixed Gallagher with a rack of ribs.
You a Gallagher guy?
No.
Okay.
But he's a comedian.
He is a comedian. So
it's just him smashing racks of ribs with a hammer.
and you get...
Actually, I would really like that.
That's kind of cool. And if you're in the front row, you might end up with like a chunk of meat in your mouth.
That was a thing people thought was funny at one point.
Yeah. Watermelons?
Yeah, smashing watermelons.
I think it's kind of great in a weird... It's like if you take it as like a weird conceptual thing.
It is. However, there's a point where
it's smashing watermelons.
It's just smashing watermelons. Like the first time you did it.
Yeah.
It's almost like an Andy Kaufman-esque thing.
Yes,
like you just smashed a watermelon and people are like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Right.
When people start bringing parkas to your show...
It's a different,
Yeah. When they know that there's going to be flying melon and they're trying to get to the front row so that they can get splashed by the melon.
Also just ew.
Yeah.
Just ew. Ew.
And... Also, I can't imagine having seen it on TV.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
Sure.
Seen his whole watermelon smashing bit. Seeing that and then going, I need to see him do that live. I have to experience the magic of a fake infomercial followed by smashing a watermelon in person.
Yeah. I need this. I mean, I am 20 times more likely to go if it's racks of ribs.
Yeah.
Because, again, yeah, sure, I might get a flying bone hit me in the face.
Right.
Fine. But I also might get a chunk of deliciousness in my mouth.
What would be good is if he had mixed it up and it wasn't... Oh, yeah. You didn't know what he was going to smash or how he was going to smash it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, like, one time it might be a mallet with a watermelon.
Sure.
The next time, maybe it's a bucket of KFC that he tosses up into the air and swings a baseball bat. Like, you don't know what it's going to be. And if he did it without jokes, too.
Right.
Like, he does a standard stand-up set, and in the middle of one of his jokes just tosses up the bucket of KFC and swings into the crowd.
Love it. I love
that. I would enjoy.
Or, like, a super soaker filled with gravy. Mm-hmm. You know, this kind of thing. And you're gonna walk out of there.
Yeah. It's a weird genre of comedy he's created. It's just food comedy.
Right. Wow. No, it's so... And how do you keep doing it for decades? That's the other thing I want to know.
I don't know. You can't feel good.
I mean...
You gotta not feel good at that point.
Like, at the end of the... I mean, okay, sure. Any stand-up comedian, your thing is you tell jokes on stage.
Right.
But you change the jokes.
Right.
This guy... the same shtick.
Like, there's... You know, stand-up comedy is an art. It's an art form.
Absolutely.
If you're doing that, you're not really... It's no longer an art form.
But at the same time, I'm, like, really impressed by it.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm like... It's kind of like, is it cake? Mm-hmm. It's one fucking idea.
That's true.
Over and over and over again.
Are they going to do that show for 40 years?
God damn, I hope not. Mikey Day just didn't realize he was walking into a cash cow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I think we need more Is It cakes in the world.
Yeah.
These days.
Is it fish?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's not fish. No. In order to find out, I have to bisect it.
Let's cut it open. Oh, it was just a human hand.
That wasn't fish.
I don't know who came up with the idea.
Yeah.
To circle all the way back.
Sure. We love to circle back.
But I think they're geniuses.
Yeah.
At finding what is easily the worst idea for a TV show and somehow making it work.
I agree.
We've had bad ideas for TV shows on this show.
Oh, boy, haven't we?
And we've had great ideas for TV shows. But I don't think we've had any that seem as half-cocked as that TV show idea.
I don't think so either. Boy, it's big news right now. I was just Googling Is It cake and...
Oh, yeah. People get mad at it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So there are people that are mad at it because it's a stupid show.
Right.
But then, and we didn't even get into this controversy when we were talking about the episode I watched.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Do you remember the fast food episode?
Not really. No.
Okay. So one of them made a cheeseburger.
Yes.
They guessed which one was cake. One of them made a croissant sandwich.
Okay.
They guessed which one was cake.
Okay.
One of them made tacos.
Yes.
They did not guess which one was cake.
Okay.
However, the person that did not get guessed sprinkled fake tomato that was brightly colored and obviously not really a tomato onto a real taco.
Oh.
So the judges went, well, look at those tomatoes. They're fake.
Oh.
So everyone got really upset that he cheated.
Is this Johnny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were people online very upset that he cheated, to which my reply would have been, if I was talking to them, can you really cheat at a game of, is that thing made of fucking cake?
Sushi Jackknife?
Sushi Jackknife.
Yeah. This episode's called Is It Fucking Cake?
Yeah.